If you've ever told yourself, we weren't even together, I shouldn't care, but your chest still hurts, this is for you. I'm going to show you what ghosting actually does to your brain and why it feels like grieving a relationship that never existed. Let's be honest, ghosting doesn't just sting. It feels like someone reached into your chest, grabbed the part of you that was finally starting to hope, and just walked away with it without a single look back. And the worst part? You can't even justify the pain to yourself. There was no breakup, no explanation, no final conversation. Just silence. A silence that somehow gets louder the more you try to ignore it. So you replay every message, every emoji, every single moment they seemed into you. You check if they viewed your story. You hover over their chat, rewriting text 6 times and then deleting them. Your stomach drops at every notification that isn't from them. And all the while, your brain just keeps whispering, "Did I imagine it all? Did I just make it up?" That confusion you're feeling, it isn't weakness. It's biology. Your brain absolutely hates unfinished stories. It will literally choose the certainty of pain over the agony of confusion. It will choose heartbreak over not knowing. That's why ghosting can hurt even more than an actual breakup, because a breakup gives you something to hold on to, a reason, a boundary, an ending. Ghosting gives you nothing. It just traps you in an emotional waiting room with no idea if the door will ever open again. And in that waiting, something dangerous happens. Your brain starts filling in the blanks with self-blame. What if I said the wrong thing? What if I came on too strong? What if I just wasn't enough? And because they're not there to correct you, those fears start to feel like facts. That joke you made, suddenly it was too much. That text you sent, now it feels clingy. The real you that you finally let them see, you start to believe it was a mistake. This is the moment where your pain turns into shame. And what makes it all worse? When you finally open up about it, people tell you, you barely knew them. It wasn't that serious. You're being dramatic. So now you're grieving and you're ashamed for grieving.
You're hurting and judging yourself for hurting. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Your late night conversations were real. Your connection was real. The future you quietly started to imagine for yourself, that was real too. You are not overreacting. You are mourning the loss of potential. And that is one of the deepest kinds of loss a human can feel. You want to know why it hurts this badly? It's because ghosting activates the very same neural pathways in your brain as physical pain. The same area that lights up when you burn your hand, it lights up when someone disappears without a word. Your brain literally thinks you've been injured. Because that connection, even just the promise of it, released dopamine. It created anticipation and a sense of reward. And when that person vanishes, your brain goes into withdrawal. It's just like an addiction. That's why you can't stop checking your phone. That's why the nights feel so heavy. That's why you can't just logic your way out of this feeling. You're not just crying over a situationship. You are going through an emotional detox. And this experience doesn't just hurt now, it changes you. You become scared to be vulnerable again. You start to leave before you can be left. Every slow reply from someone new feels like abandonment. Every conversation that trails off feels like the beginning of the end. Ghosting doesn't just end one connection, it tries to sabotage every connection that comes after it. So if you're listening to this and you're still hurting, I need you to hear me closely. A person who can disappear without a word was never capable of the kind of love you are searching for. Their silence is not a reflection of your failure. It is a confession of their limitation. Losing someone who runs from communication isn't a loss. It's protection. Your pain is valid. Your feelings are real. You are not broken for struggling to move on from something that wasn't even official. And one day, you're going to look back at this silence and you will realize it was never rejection. It was redirection.
You deserved better. Now, go become the person who gives it to yourself.